So thank you everyone and welcome to this second session of the Africa Negotiate series. It's a webinar that is organized every month by the Yamalé team that is present. Today we'll be discussing about how we can connect all the African lawyers, and we'll also present Yamalé Lawyers Network. So thank you very much. We have Awa, we have Megan and Andrea for Yamalé team. Quick guidance to help us through this webinar is to keep our microphone mute so that it will help. We can also use the chat box to write our comments or ask any questions, and we'll address all the questions during the Q&A session. So this session will be recorded and shared back to our YouTube channel. And thank you very much to be there.
Hi to everybody. I'm Megan Waters, CEO of Yamalé. We're really excited to have you here. And just to let you know that this platform was built out of sort of personal frustrations that I had when practicing on the continent, that it was really hard for me to find lawyers cross-border. It was super hard to always have to rely on attorneys that were not even on the continent. And so we really want to build a network that connects you all, highlights the work that you're doing, allows clients from all over the world to find you without first going to a British or a French or American lawyer. And so this is for you. So I hope that those of you on the call also share it with others, because I think what we have would be super strong if we can get as many lawyers as possible contributing to it.
Awa, I will give you the floor.
Thank you, Natty. Welcome, everyone. So I'm going to start with a very brief presentation, and then Andrea will then show you the platform. Just one second. Okay, I hope you can all see my screen. Today, we want to talk about the Yamalé Lawyers Network. We will start with talking about why we need this network and why now. Currently, Africa is going through some changes. There is a lot more transactions happening across borders. There is a lot of activities that require knowledge on the ground for larger corporations. And this is the time to set up networks so that when someone is doing business in your country, you can become the resource that support the work that they do on the ground. The other reason why we want to set up this network is that we haven't really seen a directory like the one we have built. We have seen list of lawyers. What we are offering here is a lot more different in terms of our vetting process, in terms of the experience we're looking for, the areas of expertise. And you will see that shortly in our demo. The other reason why we think that this is important to bring up right now, we're not just building a list or a directory, right? So you are going to be in a platform where we have already built several tools that are useful to lawyers, small businesses, students, researchers, and even larger organizations. So the platform that you are going to be included in contains a legal library that has the business laws of 54 countries that are searchable by jurisdiction and by categories or legal domain. So we have a huge number of people that are already using this library to research laws. So if they need a lawyer, it'll just make sense for them to search our database, and we are already guiding them through that space where they can find a lawyer that can help with whatever they're working on. We have a strong AI legal research tool for researchers that will answer questions in natural language that can help you find answers quickly. And then there also, if the researcher or anyone using the tool needs a more comprehensive support or answer, they can also refer to our database of lawyers. We have also the Yamalé Vault, which is the marketplace that Yamalé is building or has started to build, that contains a lot of resources, again, for lawyers, for businesses. And then the content in there will be very helpful in training other lawyers. And you are able to contribute to that marketplace. The after tool that we are developing also, which will take users, small businesses again, through exporting goods from one country to another, will also need support from lawyers at some point. And the first resource that will be available to them if they're using the after tool on our platform will be the Lawyer Network. In addition to that, Yamalé is a two-entity organization. We have a nonprofit that is doing work in government negotiation, in system strengthening, and in community support. And for that work, if we're doing that work in another country, even for our team, the first place that we will go to look for lawyers will be through the database. I'm just gonna stop here for a minute and see if my colleagues want to add anything.
Nope, you're doing great, Hawa.
Okay. Andrea, thank you, Andrea. Andrea is going to show you the tool in a little bit, and we want to just make sure that you understand that when we add you to the database, this is not just a free advertisement for lawyers. That's not how it's going to work. You go through a vetting process, and once you are in our database, it's not all your information that is out there for anyone to see. When people visit our website, the first thing that they are going to see is maybe your initial, your full name, your initials, not your full name, your position, the number of years of experience you have, where do you work, the languages you speak. That is the information that is available to everyone. People have to take another step to connect with lawyers, and the full information will be displayed at that time. So behind a paywall, we will then provide information such as your name, your contact information, your office address, and etc. Here are the steps that you will have to take in order to become a member of the network. You will have to apply using an application form that we are happy to share with you. Once you fill out that form, we will ask for references. We will go through the process of checking those references. And then finally, you will be featured on the website in the form that I described in the previous slide. That is basically the steps. I'm gonna let, I think it'd be very helpful to see the platform, and I'm gonna let Andrea show you the Yamalé Legal platform.
Absolutely. So this is the one piece of our platform that is dedicated only to the lawyer database. As Hawa mentioned, if you're in the AI tool or the AFTA passport, it will prompt you to go to the lawyer database. So there are links throughout our site that push people to the lawyer database, because we don't want people to only rely on the AI tool and not actually speak with a lawyer, because you guys are the ones who are going to give them the most precise advice and get them to where they need to be as a business, or, you know, whatever it is that they're working on. So this is the lawyer database. There is an onboarding video if you go to the website and you want to check. So the website is www.yamalelegal.com. It's open already. We launched like 3 weeks ago, so it's very new. But we want to launch the lawyer database as soon as possible so you can start receiving clients from this. Again, it's free to list, nothing that you need to do other than what Hawa mentioned. So when a client comes here, they're going to select a country, and I know Mercy's from Zambia. So you can also select the practice areas. And so we're focused on business law specifically. You can select cities and then languages. So it's also really important for you to let us know any languages that you speak, so that we can make sure to get that on there. All right. So these are 2 attorneys that we have from Zambia that specialize in IP law. And this is what somebody who is on the site but hasn't paid will see. And so the cool thing about this is it prevents us from sharing your information publicly, which gets around some of the anti-solicitation laws that I know that exist in many countries where you're not allowed to publicize your services. Here, it's not public, so you're not publicizing your services, and you're able to get around that law. But as soon as somebody pays $5, a small fee, they'll get a list of all the lawyers in that sector in that country. So if we have 20 lawyers on here, they would get 20 lawyers. But if they pick you and you do a great job, then they also will have the opportunity to rate your services. And so eventually the top lawyers will also come to the top because of ratings that they get. And so once somebody pays $5, I'll show you what it looks like when you're unlocked.
And just to highlight that we won't be asking for payments from the lawyers. So once you're listed, it is free for you. It's the $5 is for the user.
Let me see who we've got here. Okay, so this is what they would see once they paid the $5 and unlocked it. So as Megan said, no cost to you, a cost to the client who's looking, and we'll get a list of lawyers. Right now, if you guys are in, you're going to be some of the first names in there. We have 2 others from Zambia. We have nobody from Uganda. So you guys will be the people that obviously come up in the searches, which is great for you to come in at the beginning, because we hope that means a lot of visibility for you. But then your email, your phone number, and all of your specific information will come up once somebody unlocks your profile. And so that's how it'll work. Again, the idea is to highlight the expertise that's on the continent so that people don't feel like they need to go elsewhere to receive expert legal services. I think I will stop there and see if anybody has questions or concerns or thoughts. We're open to anything because we're a new platform. Like, we're open to hearing all of your feedback. Yes, please go ahead, Mercy.
So, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I've also seen a barrier when it comes to us having an opportunity.
Oh, you just froze, Mercy. Can you hear us? Oh, you're back.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. I was saying I'm so thankful for this opportunity because I also recognize the barriers that are in place in our profession. And I believe in access to justice for everyone. And I think it's a really brilliant idea. So my question is, in terms of billing, we have specific rules in our practice on how we bill clients. I just wanted to know if we would still have to follow our traditional way of billing, or is there something on the platform where we would have to clearly state how much we're charging and the like? How does that work?
No, you won't have to do anything with us after the client contacts you. You will follow all your normal procedures. This is we believe that this is just giving you a platform to advertise your services. But once somebody gets in contact with you, you're in charge. You don't owe us any money. You don't owe us any reporting. It's all up to you.
Okay, thank you very much. That's clear.
Can I add something real quick that related to what Andrea said? Yes, this is just a connection. Like, both Andrea and Megan explained, we want to connect African lawyers to businesses, African businesses. But Andrea had talked about this rating system. We just want to make sure also that once lawyers agree to be on the database, that they follow up with the clients that contact them, that they follow through on the promise of working with them if they're contacted through the platform. So if there is a commitment that you are interested in working with people who contacts you through the platform. So that is very important, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I believe when you fill out the form, which both Norman and Mercy already filled out, you have to agree to a reasonable follow-up in once somebody contacts you. And so we just ask that you make sure that you monitor your email, and if somebody reaches out, that you talk to them and tell them whether or not you can work with them, and the normal code of ethics and responsibility that attorneys should abide by. Norman, I hope you were able to hear us. Do you have any questions?
Hello. Yes, I heard everything. I was actually interested in asking a question as well. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
As you're well aware, in Africa, we have over between 2,000 to 3,000 different languages. My question is, how are we going to find a way of communicating with clients who are in different countries with languages that they don't speak here in our country? Do we need to have an AI unified database system for languages, or we can have an interpretation section? I don't know how you'd want to go about that situation. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Norman. I'll jump in and answer this one. So I think that that's a fantastic question, and I think that it actually is more relevant when you're talking about advertising your services to local clients. In which case, for example, here in Senegal, a lot of the conversation between a lawyer and a Senegalese client will happen in Wolof or Mandinka, or one of the native languages. At the same time, I think every country, for better or worse, does have an official language that they operate in the legal system. And so, as you're aware, as a lawyer, like in Uganda, having just moved from Uganda, so hello to my place close to my heart, Norman. There's so many different languages, but at the court and when you're doing transactional documents, you're still going to work in English. And I think the idea with this platform is that if someone is coming from the outside and trying to work in Uganda, they will expect to be able to work in English. Just like when someone's coming from the outside and wanting to work in Senegal, they would expect to be working in French and or English, because English is sort of a default language in many countries as well. But they would be, I think, having practice across the continent, I think that the majority of clients from outside coming into a jurisdiction will want to practice in the official language. That being said, I think it would be great for you to list all of your languages so that we can have that listed in your profile. And that way, even, as this grows, the idea would be that even local clients can also find you. And so if someone wants, for example, a lawyer who speaks Lugandan, they would be able to search you and find you, or Choli, or whatever languages you speak. Does that make sense, Norman?
Perfect. Yes, thank you very much.
I would also add, we do have our website translated into French and Portuguese. And so anybody coming from those speaking languages, if you speak English and no French, or vice versa, if you speak French and no English, that's going to be super important on the continent, because we're also trying to connect non-OHADA Francophone countries with non-OHADA Anglophone countries with OHADA Francophone. So if you have a client that is currently operating in Zambia or Uganda, but wants to move into a French speaking country, that you would have the access and tools through our platform, either by contacting a lawyer, looking at the laws, using our AI tool, to be able to help your client move into another sector that you traditionally might not have had as much access to. So we do, like you can see Mohamed Kebe here, he speaks English and French in Senegal. And so that's really helpful for any of his French speaking clients that want to go into an English speaking jurisdiction. It just facilitates that so much more easily.
And in Southern and East Africa, where both of you are based, there is a demand, and I know this for a fact in Uganda, there is a demand of businesses from Uganda who are looking to enter into, West Africa particularly, because it's a new frontier, and the AFTA rules are making it a bit easier to get one, not totally yet, but we'll get there. And I think what you'll see is you'll also have Ugandan or Zambian clients who may express interest in saying, oh, we would really love to be doing business in Cote d'Ivoire or in Senegal or in, Mali. And you can go onto our database and find a lawyer for them yourself as well this way. So there's also that option.
I'll make one little plug for an amazing book that Megan wrote that we have in our vault, which is the OHADA system book. It's like 300 pages. It's all in English, but it's got all the basic information made for Anglophone lawyers who want to learn about OHADA law, which covers 17 countries. So if you became an expert in OHADA law, you would be among a very small minority of, Anglophone lawyers who can operate in both of those jurisdictions. So we do have that listed on our marketplace in case that interests you at all.
That's very brilliant. Thank you very much.
I think that's all that we had for you today. If anybody has any more questions, please feel free to speak up. Otherwise, we can probably close and not take any more of your very precious time.
Just one more thing. I don't know. We have launched, but if we were speaking a business perspective, how long do you believe it will take for us to start getting clients on board, people searching for us in the different countries we are in, and all that?
That will depend a little bit on you and how much you spread this and how much you tell people that this is out there, not just you, but all lawyers. The more lawyers share this with each other, the more that they tell each other. We are going to start a relatively aggressive campaign on LinkedIn and Instagram to try to get lawyers from outside the continent to also understand that this exists so that they can tell clients that they have about this. And so it really is word of mouth. So the quicker it spreads, the quicker you will be able to get clients from this.
Yeah. And so I don't know if we mentioned, I apologize if I'm saying this again, but we have only been up for 3 weeks and we've already had about 3,500 visitors to our website, which is pretty amazing traffic for a new website. And a lot of it is because of our comms person who's here, Natty. Hawa and Megan and I are very active on all of the socials, trying to promote this platform. And it's kind of like a cycle, right? Like if the more people that come, the more people know about it. And the more people who are listed, the more that they'll tell. And so we're trying to get that flywheel going so that the word gets out. And we're trying to do our best to advertise. And we hope that you'll help us do that as well. And, we can't promise anything from this at all, but in the months that come, it'll get better and better, we hope.
I think the fact that we also have other things in this platform that drive to the lawyer network also is in the favor of lawyers who are in the database, because as we build, those features, as people use those features, you will see more potential for work as you are listed on this platform. So I think that's also something that is going to bring clients to you a little bit quicker.
Finally, one more thing. Finally, this is the final thing. In the database, do we happen to have accounts for per se each lawyer, such that we can update our credentials with time in case we have added value on our CV. I would like to know if each lawyer has an account in which they can update all that.
So actually a really good idea. We don't have that operational now, but I think maybe we'll think about that as we go forward, that we have something that you could log into and update your information. Right now, if you do have updates, when you have them, just email them to us the same way that you emailed the form or not the form, the references to me. And that way we can update any information. So especially once we go live and if you can see any information from your profile, let us know if you see any errors.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and close it then. Any final thoughts, anybody?
No, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to working with you in the future, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.